Somewhere
That's me with the baby face Instagram filter. Hello, my name is Barbara Lewis with Singing After 40. Today I'm going to answer that very popular question, can I sing even though I have a bad voice? I have a process that I take students through in my studio when they ask that question, and I want to give that to you today. It involves some questions for you to think about, some exercises, and at the end of the video I'm going to give you a checklist that I think is really important to help you to ask that question very differently or to answer it very differently. I'll be right back after this little break. So here we are in my vocal studio. I'm at my piano. And if you came to me and you said, can I sing even if I have a bad voice? My first question for you would be, what do you mean by a bad voice? Please explain that to me. Does it mean that you don't sing as well as your favorite famous singer? Or has a family member or a friend said to you, you've got a bad voice? Or have you recorded yourself recently and you think your voice is too squeaky or too nasally or too high or too low or it's not loud enough? For every one of those concerns, there's an answer. For the first one, if you don't sing as well as a favorite famous singer, keep in mind that you don't have the experience, most likely. You haven't had the vocal training, most likely, that they have had. For the second one, and this is a very well-known problem where a family member or a friend will say to you, you've got a bad voice. How do they know? That's the first thing. What are they basing that on? Second, sometimes family and friends are a little bit jealous that you're going to take that track with your life. You're going to improve your voice, or you want to. It can be a little bit daunting for family and friends for various reasons, but just keep that in mind. And for the third one, where you don't like the sound of your voice, where it's too this or too that or not enough, all of those things, most of those things, can be improved with lessons. Some things, if you've had damage to your vocal cords or you've had damage to your ears that doesn't allow you to hear well, then those things can be problematic. But still, even with poor hearing, people who can't hear well can sing well. I know because I've taught them. So that's number one. You've got to establish what it is that you mean by a bad voice. Now for the exercises. I have one exercise. It's a very, very simple exercise that I want you to do in 3 different ways. That's where the challenge comes, in imagining 3 different ways. So I'm going to take you through the exercise and you're going to do it in a very standard way. That is just whatever comes out of your mouth. I'm doing it in this range. It should be a good range for most voices. Might be a little low for head voice female singers, but for most of us, we can sing here. So it goes yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a big deal. Let's do it. I'll do it for you and then do it with me. So I'm just singing to warm up my voice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 It's just very simple. I'm not trying to do too much except just to get everything started. Do that with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 I hope that was easy for you. And I hope that you're not yet judging your voice, especially if you're a person who's calling your voice bad. Don't judge it from this. Just get the whole thing started. In the second exercise, it's the same one. I want you to have an intention. I want you to imagine that you're singing this 3-note exercise to someone you love to tell them that you love them. So it's going to take some imagination. I'm going to do it for you. Here's just what we did. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now I'm going to do it with that intention of telling someone who's in front of me that I love them. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it changes the quality of the voice. I hope you can hear that. What I'm thinking as I do those 3 notes is, I love you. And as it rises, there's a little bit more intensity in the I love you, and it brings up more emotion. But the thing is that in putting that intention through your voice, you're adding a quality, another quality to your sound. You're adding more color. You're adding more texture, probably. Behind this intention is a world of possibilities for your voice, and you heighten the beauty, the color, the texture of your tone without even really trying, except that you use your imagination. Just this raw energy here of having an intention it opens up the voice. Here's the 3rd exercise. I want you to think of putting a cry into this. The cry is something that we hear in some great singers. From opera, pop, country, especially in country, we hear a cry. But pop too, there's a lot of cry in pop singing. And sometimes you could say that it's the cry that brings the quality to the voice, or a greater quality. Try this. I'm going to do it for you first. It's a cry. Here's normal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I'm going to add the cry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 This adds an intensity of expression. It also changes the voice because it changes the muscular use of the voice. It tilts the larynx. It gives you access to slightly higher range. And it adds a kind of a pathos, a deep feeling to the sound. Try it. Here we go. I'll do the first with you. Then you're on your own, up and back down. Put a cry in your voice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Were you able to find that cry? Well, it really is a feeling like you're about to cry. And that feeling of being about to cry changes things. It strengthens the back of the neck for me. You don't want to lift your shoulders if possible, but just to get the feeling, you're on the verge of crying, but you stop there, you don't cry. And on that verge, you begin to sing. So don't let people tell you that you have a bad voice. Many of us don't have voices that we've imagined into something else. But it's absolutely possible, and I know that you can do it. A little imagination can solve a lot of things in life. If you find that you're taking value and you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe. And if you like this particular video, there's a like button down there, and right beside you're going to find a little bell. And if you ring that bell, if you click on that bell, you'll get notifications about every video that I post. And I post one every week. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time with Barbara Lewis, Singing After 40. Bye-bye. I wish you great singing.